Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Sports Desk Politics, as we call it. I am your host, Matthew, along with Liam and Chelsea. Today we'll be running down a few topics, including the Women's World Cup, the Cricket World Cup, the NBA Finals, and a few topics in the AFL. But to start us off, we'll be jumping into the State of Origin.
I was going to quickly say, first we'll start off with the fact that it's the FIFA Women's World Cup. There's so many World Cups going on at the moment.
That is true. Thank you for clarifying that.
There's too many World Cups. It's World Cup fever. Let's jump straight into State of Origin. State against state, mate against mate. Even though Game 2's in Perth.
Yeah, it's weird. Normally they have, because they have one in Adelaide, one in Perth.
No, they usually
do Queensland,
Melbourne,
Sydney, and then another one.
I don't know why they're doing any of it. I know why they're doing it in Perth, because of the big stadium and cha-ching. But
I don't mind mixing up, to be honest, but normally it is in Melbourne, so it is interesting this year.
I can't wait for it. New South Wales took out the last one. That's their first
in like 10 years.
First one since, I don't know, since Jesus turned water into wine, I assume. It's been a while. It's been a long time for good old New South Wales. Don't know if you can tell, I support the Maroons up there.
I'm a bit of a Maroon supporter as well. I don't mind New South Wales. As a Melburnian, I don't mind it, which is a bit different for Melburnians nowadays.
Well, we have a lot of, we had, Cronk, Smith, Slater, and now Muster all playing for Queensland, so that's probably why.
Yeah, so who's our tips? Chelsea, do you want to start us off?
Look, I think the fact that I haven't chimed in yet, it's pretty clear that I don't follow this that much, so I'm going to let you two pick your tips first, and then I will pick mine.
You're going against the flow. You're going New South Wales.
All right, and I do usually
go the Blues.
All right.
Go the Blues. She's going the Blues.
That's my tip.
Are we both tipping the Maroons?
Yeah.
The Maroons have lost a few players past years, but I feel like they're due again to win it.
Yeah, they're full of class though, Queensland, so it should be fine.
So when's the first game?
Today.
Tonight at Suncorp Arena in Queensland.
But New South Wales have won the last two opening games. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Tipping the Maroons, they should win at home.
You'd think so.
Yeah. Also kind of stuffs them up for that last advantage playing in Perth, because it'll go Brisbane, Perth, Sydney. Instead of going Brisbane, Perth, Brisbane. So they got to win the first game, or else odds are against them.
Yeah, it's weird they didn't put the Perth one last.
First, at least.
Yeah, all first. It'd make more sense that way.
But let's jump straight into the Australian Football League again.
Yeah, the sport of Melbourne, as we like to say.
Yeah, huge news. Carlton coach Brendan Bolton was sacked earlier this week.
Yes.
Not a surprise. We have chatted before about should he leave, is it time for him to go, but I thought he'd sense it was coming and leave on his own terms rather than being sacked.
That is a good point. The team hasn't been performing the past few weeks, so...
Past few years. Yes. How do I put this? We have... so I think I'm the oldest one here. I'm 23.
Yes, you'd be the oldest one.
None of us have seen a good Carlton team.
I would say the best Carlton team we saw was the one that finished 5th under Ratton.
Yeah,
but not a real dominant team.
Yeah, we've never seen a good Carlton team. But we, Carlton supporters love to talk about their 16 flags. Soon to be, could be 22. We'll get to that a bit later on in the show. And that's probably the worst case scenario. So a team that loves to talk about history, we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, last time they made a grand final was the year I was born. So
99?
Yeah, 99. It's been a while.
And they finished 6th that year as well. They were lucky to make it.
Yeah, they were.
But let's go. Yeah, he got sacked after they lost to Essendon. How bad does Carlton need to be to lose to Essendon? It seems to be like a tradition, them beating Essendon no matter what.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall after that loss.
Yeah, and Essendon comfortably won too.
I think we can say that was probably the worst game of the season.
I didn't watch the game, so I can't make a fair judgment on that.
Well, you're pretty lucky for not watching it. It was. I would prefer to watch under 10s play football than watch what I saw on Sunday.
They're actually fun to watch under 10s. They're really cute and they just go for the ball.
Oh yeah, they have no sense of positioning.
That's what makes it great.
They just chase the ball.
It's like the good kind of congestion in the game.
Oh, it's great to watch. And now the question is, who should coach Carlton and North? Well, Ross the boss, had lunch with Carlton's CEO or list manager Silvani.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's the smart call to be made.
Well, Ross isn't that dumb to have lunch in public. I think I'm more putting my money on it's a play for a contract extension to Freo, since they're in position for finals and he's out of contract next year.
Yeah, but
I don't see him going to Carlton.
Look, we know that Ross Lyon was an assistant coach for Carlton years gone by. I don't think he's the right man to bring Carlton forward, though. to be honest, like the other options they got is Brad Scott, Scott Burns. Even if they go back to the well and get Ratton again, which I reckon probably Ratton's the best candidate out there, but I'm not sure
I don't
whether they'll
think
go there.
they're feeling at the moment David Teagues.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I don't think.
No, he's the classic part-time kind of coach.
Like, I can see North Melbourne sticking with Reece Shaw,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just so weird. You know the Shaws and how they Reece Shaw left Collingwood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like seeing your mate who was an absolute idiot in high school now being a responsible father with kids. It just looks weird seeing him, someone who had such a bad history, be such a responsible coach.
Yeah, but it's good to see people change.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a weird look.
if I was going to make my tip, I'd probably say Brett Radden might get the North job, and I'd probably say Brad Scott will get the Carlton job.
But then
Is how I'd look it up.
I
What
feel
are you're thinking, Chelsea?
Yeah, well, I did mention the other week, I don't think Brad Scott would have left North without a plan. And, I mean, for him, I guess Carlton seemed like the only real opening. Like, where
Yeah.
else is he going to coach?
Exactly.
I don't think he's...
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
We've got a few options up there.
Okay. But,
I don't think they should. I think the Hawthorn well's dried up. I don't think Clarko's. I think the game's
in
getting
terms
past
of
Clarko.
Ratton, you're saying?
In terms of assistant coaches, the last, 3 premiership coaches have come from Hawthorn.
Something of
Beveridge,
those.
Simpson, Hardwick, all former Hawthorn assistants.
Yep.
Fagan, Leon Cameron, all Hawthorn assistants. I feel like they should go maybe look somewhere else. Maybe look at Richmond, look at Collingwood,
Mm-hmm.
go to one of their assistants. Maybe Robert Harvey could be a good coach.
Robert Harvey is a good name actually to chuck up there.
And then I remember Ken Hinkley before he became coach of Port Adelaide. He was thrown around for years. Stuart
Yeah.
Dew got thrown around for years before he got the Gold Coast job. It'd be interesting to see. It's hard to put your money on anyone at the moment. But
Definitely.
Another thing about Carlton was Gary Lyon said this during the week that maybe he should leave Carlton to go to a better team.
Cripps should leave Carlton.
Make the league fair. Of course, the best player in the league leaving.
Mm-hmm.
why would that make the league fair?
Sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
We want a bit more emphasis in your voice for that.
It is
I was
hard.
like, Carlton need him.
It is hard to do sarcasm
He's
on
like,
radio.
he's the essence of fairness in the competition. Yeah.
In saying that, I've tried to do quotation marks on radio. For some reason, they don't go over well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a
because we can't
surprise.
visually see him.
But why would a captain leave a bottom club to go to a top club? I've never seen anything like that. Sarcasm again.
All right, that one I got.
All right, so if, hypothetically, if you were put into Cripps's position, or if you had to make the call, would you be seeking a possible trade somewhere else?
I'll say the same thing I said about Tom Lynch. No, you're the captain for a reason. You got to put that role.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost as important as the coach as the captain. You got that role, and unfortunately, captain goes down with the ship. They don't jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think Tom Lynch will go down as probably one of the worst captains in AFL history.
Right.
Oh, and Stephen May, but everyone forgets he was even the captain. And he's at Melbourne, so I don't think he's winning that much either. But, so I don't think Cripps would leave. He got given the captaincy, he got asked to become captain.
Mm-hmm.
He has to stay.
So you wouldn't be a little bit of, at the end of his contract, whenever that is in I think 2022 or something
I
like
think
that.
2020.
2021,
yeah.
Something like that. So you wouldn't have any sympathy by the time 2021 comes around, team's not performing, that he decides, you know what, I'm in my prime, I've done my best, I'm going to go explore other options. You wouldn't be for that.
Bob Pratt won 3 Brownlow medals. Bob Skilton won 3 Brownlow medals and only played 1 final series.
Okay.
Players like that, Lloydie's gone through the AFL for years. And now just because someone wants to win a flag, I don't think that's how selfish is it that you deserve a flag more than the other players on your list.
All right.
I'll ask you a question. Does Cripps deserve a flag more than Kate Simpson?
No, I reckon Cade Simpson deserves a flag. I think Cripps should stay, and I think he will stay.
I think it was he said he wants to stay, but
Yeah, I think Cripps is happy where he is. Like happy, although the team's not performing, he likes the club itself, so I don't think he'd be leaving.
and
But I wouldn't be so bang over the head in a couple of years' time, maybe not now, that he gets to the end of his contract and he's like, I've done everything I can. I want to go play another club. Maybe not the best club, but it might go, I want to go play for a Melbourne and they're like a middle-range club and try and do something with them.
he's a Western Australian, Frio's on the way up.
Yeah, potentially
West Coast
he
on the
might
way
go
up.
back to a West Coast, but we don't know how they'll be going.
Just now, quickly before we go to a song break, 4 other coaches who probably aren't 100% certain to stay on beyond this year. I'll give you a quick yes or no. Alan Richardson for St Kilda.
Oh, he's staying. He's done enough. He's done enough.
Ross Lyon
Going.
going.
I feel like they've done well this year, but I feel like he might go on his terms.
I feel like if they miss the finals, because I don't know if you've seen their fixture, they've got a pretty handsome fixture on the run home. They are now in a position where they have to play finals, or else I think.
Yeah, I felt like he was gone for the past 2 years.
John Worsfold, I think the game went past him before he even got the Essendon job.
Yeah, I feel like he might stay, but he probably should look elsewhere.
And Ken Hinkley for Port.
They'll make the final, so he'll stay.
World Cup, which starts this week.
Yeah.
It does start this week in France.
Very weird that it's like a year after the men's. That seems like a long period of time.
Yeah, it
I
does.
would like to know the reason behind that. Really.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I think Australia's got a real good chance in this World Cup.
Oh yeah, they are one of the best. I think they're 5th overall.
6 best, so it's USA, Germany, England, France, Canada, surprisingly, and then Australia.
Well, only New Zealand. No, sorry, not New Zealand. Only US and Germany's been number 1 in the world rankings. So that's good for them, I guess. But yeah, so it's in France, happening in France, the 7th of June to the 7th of July. 24 teams across 6 conferences, and with 9 venues. Definitely did not get that off Wikipedia. I don't know if you could tell.
What is Wikipedia?
Don't even know.
What is this wiki you speak of?
But yeah, I think Australia's a good chance. But the main issue I think of it, and before we get into like the Australian team, it's we spoke about World Cups last week and we didn't mention it. We spoke about the netball.
Because there wasn't much exposure coming into this.
Yeah. And I've got a few reasons. I think I've got a few reasons why, especially in Australia, it's not that big. I start off with the obvious. The men's team's not doing that well, so the interest in soccer's gone down. You can feel that through the A-League as well. Even though it was 50,000 at the A-League Grand Final, it was one of the lowest watched on TV, the lowest Grand Final on TV in A-League history. So because the men aren't doing that well, unfortunately the women are suffering, despite, and I think most of us can agree, if you think of Australia's best player...
It was Kerr.
And this is across both genders. The best Australian player is...
it's Kerr.
Yeah, Kerr.
Kerr.
I was about to say Alex Kerr, but that's someone I knew in high school. I got her name absolutely wrong.
Samantha Kerr. Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr, that's it.
Yeah. I was going to say something like Steve Kerr. I was like, no, that's definitely wrong.
Sister Daniel Kerr. I know that. Unless you don't know anything about women's soccer, then you'll probably say Aaron Moy or my man, Mr. Ryan, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, true. Or Tom Rodgick, you could potentially say.
But I think we can mostly... Because Kerr came in the top 5 in the women's Ballon d'Or.
Which is like the best and fairest of all women's soccer players in the world.
So she's by far...
in the whole world.
In the whole world, yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's how good she is. She's an absolute superstar.
Yeah.
And she's only 24, so she's young.
So she's a gun.
That's pretty scary. But... So even though that suffers because of the whole men's thing suffering, so just a lack of soccer now, we've gone out...
It shouldn't be like that. They should have their own exposure.
Yeah, but it's hard.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
It's hard.
Same with cricket.
It shouldn't be, though.
It shouldn't be.
No, it perhaps is, but it shouldn't be.
Yeah, but it's the same with the cricket. If the men's aren't doing well, interest in cricket's gone down, which means the women competition suffers.
But there should be more exposure to the Women's World Cup, because I'd be more interested in watching how the Aussies go in this World Cup opposed to the last World Cup.
Don't get me wrong. If we reach, if we reach the semi-finals, which we haven't got past, we're like the Mexico of women's soccer because we can't get past a certain stage. It'll pick up in the media and people start tuning in. But at the moment, the previews have been absolutely nothing. I know I heard on the radio yesterday them mentioning Optus is doing it for free. But that's pretty much all I've heard about the Women's World Cup.
So do you have to sign up for the Optus contract to do that? Or?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Right.
And someone who uses Optus Wi-Fi, you won't be able to watch a single match.
Right.
In my personal use of Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But yeah, also another reason, and this is probably the second biggest, is it's on why the Cricket World Cup's on.
Yeah.
So the fixturing of this World Cup benefits teams like the US, Germany, Japan, all these teams that don't play cricket. Most of Australia is focused on the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah.
That's our number one focus. And then, we'll hear on the news or read in the paper that the Women's World Cup's on. We'll be like, let's see how that game is. So that's also another reason why it's suffering, and I think it's a poorly fixtured. You shouldn't put 2 World Cups,
On at the same time.
together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Who is our tip for the World Cup? Should we run through the groups before we do our tips?
Yeah, sure. There's a few groups.
Yeah. So we got Group A, we got France, Norway, South Korea, and Nigeria. Group B, Germany, Spain, China, South Africa. Group C, Italy, Brazil, our very own Australia, and Jamaica. I hope Jamaica wins the game because it'll be fun. Group D, England, Scotland, Argentina, Japan. Group E, Netherlands, Canada, New Zealand, Cameroon. And Group F, Sweden, USA, Chile, and Thailand. Now, who's our tip to take out the
I
World
think
Cup?
the US will go back to back.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're too good of a team. I must say as well quickly, Australia has by far the best kit.
Yeah, I actually do like Australia's kit.
It's such a good looking
Yeah.
kit. Yeah, I think it got inspiration off the Nigerian World Cup kit last year.
Yeah, actually.
Type of design. It's very interesting. I like it. Another issue, you got Elizabeth Campbell is our main goalkeeper. It's only had 2 international caps. Which seems about to go for the teams. That's something you don't want to have heading to a World Cup.
Probably not. No, that's not an ideal preparation coming into a World Cup.
No.
But I hope she goes well.
In same preparation, Australia did get smacked 4-0 against the Netherlands. So just the other day.
That's not the preparation we want.
So I'm not meaning to brag, but I've kept up to date with women's soccer.
It's good.
So,
Good you have.
I know my job.
And I'm going to try my best to keep up to date with the Women's World Cup as best as I can.
It's not hard. Just grab Soccer Live app and it has the scores.
Okay.
Even if you glance, it's hard to stay up to watch it. Also, the time zone. Forgot to mention the time zone from Paris to Australia. It's ridiculous. But in good news, hopefully next World Cup in 2023 might be different, as Australia is bidding to be able to host it.
Do we know which city they're particularly...
Be all over the country.
Be all over the country? Yeah. I like that. I like the idea. I reckon that'll be good exposure for the sport in Australia.
Which might help the men's get a World Cup as well.
Potentially.
Which might help soccer get back to where it was around, I'll say 2010 was probably the peak. Just when the golden generation...
For Australian soccer?
Yeah, after the golden generation was starting to die out. And that's, soccer's been on decline probably since 2010.
Yeah, probably. After they lost that semi to Italy.
Oh, yeah, the dive. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that pretty much, yeah. It was a dive and we lost it from there.
Blatant dive. So we'll quickly go. Do you think Australia has a chance? We are 6th in the world, but there are... Again, we got smacked 4-0 in a preparation game, which is never ideal.
I reckon we got a chance. I reckon we could make it to the quarterfinals, which is the next step from the semis, I believe, or the other way around, whichever's higher. I reckon we might get to the final 4 of the competition, but I reckon Germany and USA might be able to push past us.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well.
Chelsea?
Yeah, for sure. Ditto, we've got a chance, but will we do it? I'm not sure.
We could do
We'll be
it.
We'll be close.
So let's start this again.
Right, all right.
Welcome back to Sports Desk.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Liam has shut my mic off, but now I am free to talk.
You just annoyed me so much.
Yeah, it's just that high joke. You're just like, nah, I can't have small people on the show. It's terrible. And absolutely terrible. Yeah, anyway, so as I was saying, it's 1-1 currently. Toronto couldn't keep home court. And Liam, you're of the opinion that they need to be 2-0 up to be any chance in this series going forward.
Yeah, and that's mostly because, again, as people could hear me say.
People could hear you say, and they're wondering, who's he talking to?
Trust me, talk to myself all the time. Best conversation. But, yeah, they had
Only
to win.
speak to smart people, as people say.
Yeah. But they had to win. They had to win the second one at home because they're playing in California the next 2 games.
Yeah, both games in Oakland.
And Oakland, yeah.
Yeah, Oakland, California.
Yeah.
That is where it's located.
It's okay. It's early morning.
Early morning. Let's keep going, man.
But yes, I think Golden State will win the next 2, and then they'll go back to Toronto, and that's their probably final chance to win, unless they can pull a miracle and beat them over in California. I think it's all over Red Rover.
I think they have a slight chance, only for the fact that KD is out, who's arguably Golden State's best player. The most important player is Stephen Curry, and that without a doubt. Looney's out for the rest of the season. He's a bench player. Clay's sick for Game 3, so I think he'll be benched. And Clay's got his shoulder, and then Curry's sick, but he should play. So I reckon they might be able to steal one game and get to 6 games. But I think Golden State will overall win in a 4-2 kind of contest, which is my tip. But I do think they probably need to be 2-0 up to have any chance of claiming the series. But
because it'd be so different if they've got 2-0 up, come to California, get a sneaky win and go like 3-1 into their next game in Toronto.
Yeah.
The momentum would have been massive.
The only thing that Toronto can hope for now is that the injuries do sustain Warriors' ability to play top-class basketball, that they can get one of these next 2 games and hopefully get a 3-2 advantage at home. And then, Game 6, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope they can win. That's all pretty much simple. That's all we've got to talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Got the NBA.
Chelsea, any thoughts?
Go team.
Go team.
Go team.
Go Wildcats.
Cricket World Cup.
Very exciting.
What's happening?
So,
Some cricket, some bowling, some batting. How's
Yeah.
that?
Say no more.
I want to bring up...
So it's in England, so there was a rain delay yesterday.
Was
Really?
that actually?
Yeah, for the Afghanistan Sri Lanka match.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I want to bring up one of my favourite matches that happened the past couple of days. It was the Pakistan-England game. And before the game, we had a few England past players saying it was an easy win for
Saying
England.
it's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, pretty much. And so they played against Pakistan, who had an abysmal first game. And I've got to say, England lost the game, and some of their fielding efforts were absolutely deplorable. But as an Australian supporter, it was quite fun to watch the highlights of.
Do you know, I'll quickly tell you a quick story. Last year, during the FIFA World Cup, I had a mate who's Norwegian, and he was supporting England, and he goes to me, he goes, as an Australian, you should want England to win the World Cup. I go, oh, no.
Why was he of that opinion?
I don't know, since, they came over here and, we're
You're
an
the
English
same
colony.
people. That's not kind of how it works.
Yeah, we want the complete opposite. Complete opposite of them winning the World Cup. But yeah, that was enjoyable. Good to see Pakistan get a win after their abysmal effort against the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good to see them win. Good to see England lose. It's happy times all around.
Yeah, it's a good time of the year.
Yes.
How much longer is left of the World Cup?
So long.
July 14th is the last
Oh my
game.
God. Goes forever.
Yeah, well, there's only there's a game per
You're already
game.
tired of it. It's like, why? I want to watch my Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
You can watch both at the same time. See, the miracle of sport.
I think
True.
you can do that on KO with the whole 5 different screens.
You can
So,
actually, yeah.
Quick plug. I think we should get sponsored by them with that quick plug. I think I'll call them up you owe us money now. Don't think that would go down very well, but worth
Probably
a
not.
shot.
Yeah, I reckon give it a shot though. I'd be interested.
Yeah, you got. So tonight you got India versus South Africa, and South Africa has had an absolute appalling World Cup. I think they're the most disappointing team so far. South Africa.
Is that surprising? Or?
Yeah, they're meant to be one of the best. And
They've been off form the past few years, but their first game, which was against, quickly going to get this up for you, first game against Bangladesh was a pretty disappointing effort because Bangladesh isn't the best side going around,
Okay.
and so South Africa should have won that game.
So what's changed? Why is...
They've had a few players retire of late. Their players are getting old.
a few players with injury. Someone just went down with an ACL. Missing
Yeah.
the entire
Hooray.
series.
Things like that. So
No Australians are using sandpaper, which is always hard for South Africa to win after that. You
still a
got
good test side they are though.
yes. So they've got India tonight, and then Bangladesh and New Zealand are also playing tonight. So Australia's playing tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
I completely skipped over the New Zealand game. I was looking at the score because I saw Bangladesh was playing. No, South Africa was playing again. I'm like, when's New Zealand playing? When are my fellow Kiwis? They played the day before, completely missed the game.
Yeah, dominated Sri Lanka with
they
a 10
did.
wicket win.
Absolutely smacked them.
Mm.
And when Australia played last week, as expected, David Warner got booed, but he decided to. And there was 2 guys in the stand dressed up as sandpaper. Absolute,
I'm looking this up
absolute
now.
I
pure
need to see
banter
a
that is.
sandpaper costume.
pure banter by them. As you can tell, they weren't Afghanistan fans. They were probably English fans coming into the.
Oh my god,
Stadium?
This is an absolute beauty.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. He ended up scoring, I think, 80 runs, so it didn't bother him at all.
About 89 runs, yeah.
Nathan Lyon is missing the game against the West Indies, which is an issue.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that the English pitch is not friendly to the fast bowlers.
Mm-hmm,
So
yeah.
we kind of need to have spin. I hope we beat West Indies, but I've got a mate who's more into cricket than I am, and he said they're going all the way. So
West Indies, you reckon?
oh well, my mate reckons.
Well,
and
your
I
mate
believe my
reckons?
mate. especially when it comes to cricket.
I give Australia the tip. I reckon we'll get through.
No
Indies-
biased.
No. I think West Indies got a lot of firepower, but they're not as much as a complete team as Australia to back up performance after performance. I'd love to see West Indies win it. I think it'd be great for the sport, but I think they're more of a one-hit wonder kind of team. Not that they're going to play one good game the whole tournament, but I'm not sure how consistent they can be as a team.
There was also, just quickly as well, there was a Sri Lankan bowler, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but I swear he's been playing cricket for 50,000 years.
Malinga?
Yeah, the one that does the weird...
Yeah, he's a
Again,
legend.
doesn't work on radio again, but...
Former Melbourne Stars player.
To third strike.
Yeah, I'm going to demonstrate the action on radio.
Thank you.
Yes.
He does he
visual
bowls
medium.
differently than most people, and he has an eyebrow piercing that gives it away who he might be. Oh, and blonde in his hair. See, visual cues.
Or
It's
he used to
helping.
play for the Stars and he was quite good.
Or he plays for Sri Lanka
Yeah.
currently.
6 for 9 was his figures for the Stars, one game.
Yes. So you've got Australia still winning. I still have.
Oh, do you mean the West Indies game? Or,
in January in the West Indies game.
I think all up, I'd say India would win it. The West Indies game, Australia will win it.
Yeah, I still think I've got rid of England, and I might have India as well there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe West Indies might get over the top of us.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea. Go team.
Go team.
Go team.
The AFL Commission is potentially looking to backdate premierships from 1870 to 1896.
And by AFL commissions, we mean...
Oh, hang on.
You got the wrong dates mixed up, doesn't it?
From 1896 to 1870.
Yeah.
No, it's 1796. You go backwards to forward.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Anyway,
they're
I
changing
apologise.
the date.
Yeah, and by commission, Geelong people, because it gives them goes from 9 to 16 flags.
Yeah.
So this would give Geelong an extra 7, Carlton an extra 6, Sydney an extra 5, Essendon 4, Melbourne 3. Is this a good idea?
Not at all.
No, so to kind of explain it properly to the viewers, basically back in the day we had the VFA, is what the AFL was, what kind of the AFL League was between 1870 to 1896. Then a few teams broke away, formed the VFL in a separate league in 1897, and a few teams later, like Richmond and Footscray, joined them later on.
Don't forget about university. Don't sleep on
Yeah,
them.
university.
Don't sleep on the students.
University were also there, and
Great
then
team.
it got to about 1890, and the name VFL rebranded to become the AFL, and the VFA adopted the
VFL
name VFL.
So me and you both agree that it should be VFL flags because VFA never ended. It continued. and-
Yeah, it continued to something else, and it's a different league.
Yeah.
Because if we incorporate the VFA flags, you'd have the argument of going like, why can't Richmond incorporate their
Oh,
flags?
trust me, Port Adelaide supporters already waiting for the deal to come up. Like, what about ours?
Exactly. My next point was why can't Port Adelaide, who's the same club as the Port Adelaide Magpies, say we won 32 flags? Why can't we incorporate that into our history? Because it makes sense to keep it this way. That it's just the VFL, AFL premierships because it's just that league flags.
And that means, sorry,
My question is, why are they bringing this up?
they want extra
They
flags.
want more flags. It's just a boasting thing.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Especially the fact that Geelong could, go from 9 to 10 or 16 to 17 flags this year.
Yeah,
Big possibility.
Look, as a Geelong fan, I like the idea, but as an AFL fan, it's not the
can't-
right call.
You can't watch them on DVD. You can't. There's no way you can even know what happens in
Is
the
that how
game.
we classify them? You got to watch them on DVD.
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like it's so much better to watch your team win a grand final on DVD.
Yeah, it is.
Like, let's
yeah.
face it, Collingwood supporters only have 2 grand finals they can watch on DVD. People forget about that.
And Freo supporters have.
Oh, we've got the 2013 one that you can watch in beautiful high definition. Beautiful.
You can watch the prelim. That was a good game.
Oh, it's so great, isn't it? But you got so you threw me off guard there. So you got, if that is the case, so that means G-Class, South Yarra, Albert Park, Houston Bay, Warraway, West Melbourne, West East, Port Melbourne, Williamstown, Ballarat, all as
Not exactly, because
they were in the league when the premierships were won.
were they actually?
Yep.
Try to look this up. I don't. Yeah.
Because that's not all VFA teams joined the VFL.
Yeah,
Only
I'm well
8 broke
aware of
away.
that.
So are they now former VFL teams?
Yeah, I wouldn't think. See, that's where the things get into.
Well,
It's like where do you stop and start? Who was part of the league then?
Yeah, that's why I think it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Eddie Maguire shut it down, and one person who runs AFL more than Gil McLaughlin is probably Eddie Maguire.
There's good McLaughlin even run the AFL. Stephen Hawking would probably be another name up there that runs it.
Gil McLaughlin doesn't even know what footy is. He's like, what an interesting sport. Let's have an 18-metre goal square. That's what the fans want.
Yeah. And anyway, so to kind of summarise, I don't think it would be a smart idea for the league.
And look, I don't think it's going to happen. There's really no support from anyone.
Yeah.
Apart from Geelong and Carlton supporters.
Pretty much.
And for different reasons as well. Like, Geelong just wants that extra flag. Carlton needs the extra flags.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was at the game on Saturday, the
You
Free
were, the
Collingwood
Free
game.
Collingwood game,
We
yeah.
have 2 Collingwood supporters. It was a great time. But anything happened in the third quarter when Michael Walters kicked a goal. They called it a goal. Collingwood players said it was touched. Turns out they checked the wrong footage, and the people upstairs got the wrong footage.
Yeah.
And it was touched off Chris Main's hands off the boot instead of on the goal square.
Chris Main, the irony.
I know, right?
The irony. I don't know how they got the wrong footage. You would have thought they would have
It's
all
Bush
angles.
League, isn't it? Real Bush League stuff.
Yeah.
And Eddie McGuire also said they didn't get They didn't get 4K version like you get on TV.
Yeah, that makes zero sense why
Like,
they wouldn't get
that's
that.
unprofessional as well.
Yeah.
But and then later on that week, on the Sunday, Oscar Allen kicked a goal. Same thing, went off Bontempelli's hands.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't check it, or they did check it, but they didn't notice it, and went to umpire's call, and he got a goal. So that's
Yeah.
twice in a week.
Because the procedure is they check every goal.
Oh, remember, I was at the ground, and I go to my friends. Well, I go to the 2 people I was with. I go, yeah, that's a point. You know, that got touched. They review it on the way back,
Mm.
and that's what they meant to do. They meant to review it on the way back.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised when they were lining up, just ball up. I was like, that's a bit odd.
Mm.
And Free ended up winning by 4 points. Did it change the result of the game? Probably not. It happened in the third quarter.
You can make an argument, yes, but then again...
Varco also
then again,
missed from 15 metres out on a slight angle.
Yeah,
so.
because then again, if it's a point, you don't know whether or not
Yeah, the
they
what
would
ifs.
kick the goal quickly after anyway.
But so that's the next question. Do you see a result being changed? Like
Would I like the idea, or can I see it happening?
both?
All right, can I see it happening? No. Do I like the idea? Depending on the circumstances. In terms of that one, no, I reckon leave it.
Only 2 games in history has ever been changed, as of course we all
It was
know.
the Freo St Kilda,
The Freo St Kilda, and in 1990 St Kilda Melbourne.
which
No,
was...
so 1900. Same thing as well, but it was the third quarter time siren didn't go.
Right.
And Melbourne got a point, which led to a draw, which was actually St Kilda's first ever win.
Oh,
Yeah, so they didn't
that
even win on the
sums
day.
up St Kilda quite well.
Yeah. So I don't see a game ever being changed. You know, a lot of Essendon supporters will probably be clamouring for the Sydney game.
I don't think that was up to the... I don't think that was off the stand. They should change it.
But then Essendon supporters seem to complain about it a lot these days. Anyways, seems to be their thing.
Mm.
But I don't. Even Eddie McGuire came out, and Eddie McGuire is the same guy. I remember when Fremantle was looking at Travis Cloke, who said he would sue him. He would take legal action if they want to get Travis Cloke. So Eddie McGuire is not the most reasonable guy.
Yep.
Came out in defence and said, we're not going to challenge the result. It was, umpire's mistake, which it is. It's absolute pure bush league
Yep.
to see anything like that happen. And it was a blatant touch. The main one, I'm surprised the umpires didn't hear it. It was a blatant touch.
Mm.
But Barkley said it best. He said they didn't deserve to win. Again, if you're a top team playing against an 8th place team at the MCG,
Yep.
you should win the game. And that's how I see all football games. That's how I saw the Essendon game. That's how I saw the Essendon Sydney game.
Mm-hmm.
Football is 120 minutes, not just one moment.
One moment. Yeah.
So I don't see a game should ever be
There are
changed.
very few games I'd make a convincing argument that one decision would turn a game. Like, it'd have to be the best game in the world that you've watched, and like some iffy decision doesn't go your way, you can make a fair
The
argument.
best example quickly as well. Best example was the grand final last year as well. Why was it 2-on-1 in the West Coast forward line instead of the block on Maynard?
Yeah.
That question like that. And the last one before we wrap up, even though technically their home game, but not their home game, Pro-Late did the never tear us apart, even though it was St Kilda's home game.
Is it a fair thing to do?
I think it's no, because it's not their home game.
Yeah. Interesting thing. I think the China game itself is an interesting concept.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
People, apparently a bus went to the wrong stadium.
All right.
Yeah.
And those fans would have been...
They were so upset.
They would have livid.
So upset. But that's all the time for we had today. Action-packed show.
Action-packed.
I don't know how many more weeks we have, but we've got a few more weeks together. It's going to be
A few more
lovely.
weeks together. Thank you for tuning
yeah.
in. If you like to tune into the other shows for Sport Desk, we have a show on Friday and Monday.
And we'll be back here next Wednesday.
Yes, this is the Sports Desk.